Good morning. Sterling Chu here, Second Growth Homes. Today we're going to be installing tongue and groove onto the roof of the A cabin that you see here beside me. We're installing 2x6 tongue and groove, and we're going to be fastening it with screws. Let's go ahead and get started. All you need to do to start is to just line your first board up really carefully right on the edges of these A-frames and fasten it in place. You want to choose ones that are really straight to start with, so that you start with a nice straight line. So I'm just going to take a look at this one. Wow. Yeah, that's beautiful. You can do whatever you want. Okay, you like it? I'll go down. Wow, that was easy. All right, we got our first board on, and you could use a string, but just use your eyes and sight down it. This is just absolutely straight. Our lumber is very, very, very straight. This is actually, we purchased this, but it's the same spruce tongue groove that we sell. So you just want to start with perfectly straight boards, get them fastened really well, and then everything else will get clamped to that straight line. So I'm just going to go ahead, put the last of the screws in, and then we'll go to the other side. Everybody does stuff at different paces, so don't ever be like, oh man. I'm usually not rushing, so nothing that we do is in a rush, but I do have a lot of years of putting on tongue groove and stuff, so we might be faster than some, and probably slower than others. So don't let the time frame get you down. This is all in real time, so everything we're doing is real, so you can see what it takes to build this A-frame cabin. But if you're doing this yourself, just take your time, one board at a time. All you got to do is just keep putting one board on at a time. Stay happy while you're doing it, just real chill, one at a time, and you just keep going until you're done. It's awesome. That's too enjoyable. We'll get the skill saw going later in the day, but hey dude, the scrap works. Oh, thank God. I was so worried that these lengths weren't going to be perfect. Dude, you got to see how tight the tongue groove goes together. Wow, look at this. That is awesome. You can't even see the joint there. Okay, so that's one row on, perfect. Like I said, the only difference when you buy this kit is that everything will be pre-drilled and pre-cut. So you just put them on and you don't have to do any trimming or drilling. But maybe if you want to do one of these without buying the kit and just make it yourself, here's how we do it. You're looking good. Hey, come on. Oh, let's see, I need to grab a choke here. Got the board under here, and we're just making sure two things are happening. Number one, that the tongue and groove is flat on the A-frame, and then number two, this board is up all the way. And then that we're centered on the frame there. I'm glad I bought this new impact. It's nice. Get re-leveled up here. So let's get a nice 2x6 and the level, and we'll check out this front A-frame. I was thinking one of the tongue and groove. So the way these will be labeled in your kit is each row will have a number. So this will be number 1, number 2, number 3, and then the other side will be the same thing. We'll do like 1A, and the other side will be like 1B, 2B. So the boards in the row are the ones that need to match because they're going to be cut to length. And what you want to do is make sure that these butt joints where these tongue and groove are butting are not on the same rafter. So if this butted right here, we would need to do something different. We'll be very careful with the kit so that when you go through, as long as you keep the boards in order and numbered, the butt joints will be staggered really, really nicely. So I'm gonna go ahead and slap this one on here. And so these ones, you can throw that up there if you want. Here, give it a try. So the first board of the second row. So this is the first one that gets fastened normally. The way these get fastened is you've got a toe screw that goes in like this, and this fastens it and it helps pull them together. And when you put those in, you need to be able to, you really need to not oversink them, but you need to really make it so that when you run your finger along there, the screw's not protruding, because it'll hold the next board up. So each of those, you just need to be very careful to sink them in enough that they're recessed, but not too much that you're pulling through. So those screws will help suck the boards nice and tight. Then you're going to go ahead and install your face. The same thing, you want those just barely sunk in. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead, and before we go any farther, we're going to go over the level and spacing of the A-frames to make sure that they're spaced perfectly in between each other. Let's see, let's turn it like this. Okay. So here what we're doing is we're checking this first A-frame for level. You could do this by measuring a 3, 4, 5 triangle on the side, but I find this is just a really easy way to do it. Good level, nice straight board. Yeah, we do need to make a very slight adjustment, I would say. Okay. We'll go ahead and make this slight adjustment, and then we're going to space every other A-frame out from this one. Yeah. Yeah, perfect. This works perfect. Okay. Well, the reality was we were pretty damn close. We probably didn't need to make that adjustment. So what we're going to do now is we've got a perfect diagonal brace on the other side. So the A-frames are all braced along that side. We're going to take this brace off and we're going to move it up above this layer so we can sheet the wall up to here. Once we get up to here, we'll be able to take the brace all the way off, sheet this to the top, and at that point we'll be able to go to the other side, do the same thing.
60 and a half, 102 and 3/4, 137, but it's a little short, 171 and a half, 205 and a half.
They're all beautiful.
It wasn't as straight as that.
Beautiful.
There we go.
Okay, make sure the camera's going. Yep. All right, so now we're all ready to sheet this whole side. You can take your offcut piece and just start over again.
Yep.
On that side. So all you got to do here is make sure the orientation is right, tongue up, V-groove down. It's pretty easy after you got your first one. So if you put the board on and this V-groove is super close to tight, you can go ahead and just slam in those toe screws first. And they'll tighten it up. This is perfect. So again, if this seam looks really good, like this board does, it's nice and straight, you can just hold it down, slam in those toe screws, and you're good to go. If the board, you know, tongue and groove boards, some of them are going to have some sweep like this to it. So probably pretty soon we'll run into that, and we'll show you what that looks like and how to deal with it. I'm glad I brought this bit for me. Nice roof there. Oh, that one's pretty good too. So I thought we were going to need to clamp that one, but nope, it actually looks good. So these holes will be pre-drilled on yours from the shop, so all you got to do is just put a screw in every hole and then just learn how to tighten them up the appropriate amount. One of the greatest things about these kits is how everything is screwed and it's all pre-drilled. So again, you just make sure the boards are oriented correctly. Make sure your butt joints are perfectly on the center of the rafters, and they will be because yours will be cut to length if you buy a kit. Toe screws first, and just being really careful to make sure you sink those enough that they're not going to hold up your next boards.
I always worry about things like kind of opening up like that full of dirt.
And like I'm telling you, dude, I saw this guy redo one recently where it was all opened up. It was awesome. So, main thing about the A cabin is that the process is very simple and very straightforward. So, from here on out, we're just going to keep installing tongue and groove in this exact same manner until the entire cabin is sheeted. The walls, the roof, the floor, the whole thing. So, we're at basically step 2. Step 1 is assemble your A-frames and stand them up on your platform and brace them. Step 2 is cover the entire thing with tongue and groove. It's pretty cool. So the kit that we'll sell will be all pre-assembled like this, but we also just sell lumber. So if you are more carpentry inclined, and you wanted to cut the half lap joints in the rafters, and if you wanted to cut all the tongue groove and do all this yourself, you totally can. We'll sell you just all the lumber as like a lumber package. You can go ahead and build it. Beautiful. Oh, we're not gonna have any waste, huh?
Yeah, no, we keep doing it like this, no problem.
We have 0 waste right now, dude.
Yeah.
Look at that. So again, we're still getting tight. Just, you know, just a little tap and they're good. So we haven't had to do any clamping or anything yet. It's gonna vary a little bit. Let's fasten off, and then pretty soon we'll nail a lid down here. So we have no scraps right now. So full board. No waste. Awesome. So it looks like we're not actually going to have to clamp this one, which is pretty cool. So sometimes we will, but you can see here how it's kind of bowed up. So go ahead, Oliver. You see Oliver can just hold it tight like that. So in some cases that's all that you're going to have to do right there. Nice. Beautiful. I've always liked working with like giants, you know, so if you can find yourself a giant as a helper, and then, you know, it really helps things out. Look at this, Oliver, left-handed. So here you can see the inside of the A cabin. So everything that you see here is exposed. And this is the coolest part about this kind of cabin, is that it's like a log cabin in the sense that once it's up, the interior is finished. Whereas with the other cabins that we've always built, the stud frames, once you've got it up, you're like 1/3 of the way, you know. You're 1/3 of the way when the cabin's built to completion. Whereas this, you know, it really depends on what you put in here, and sky's the limit. I mean, you could finish this like a full tiny house and spend 6 months working in here, but you know, I consider this to be more like, when this is all the way up, it's more like 70%, and you got 30% inside if you want to put in cabinets or a bathroom and kitchen, that kind of stuff. I've been looking at these pretty cool kitchens that are all self-contained. So you can get them from Home Depot. It's a whole kitchen, a fridge, a little stove, oven, a sink, counter, and all that stuff. You just buy it as one unit. You can just bring it out and set it in your A-frame cabin and you're done. That's so cool. We also do a lot of composting toilets. So if you frame in a little bathroom, a little composting toilet, get that self-contained kitchen from Home Depot and a bed, and you are there. I mean, you're all the way there. So it's going to be absolutely beautiful. The A-frames will get a quick sand, and they'll get a V-groove on them with the router. If you purchase them as a gift from us, they're going to come sanded with that V-groove and with actually a layer of finish on them so that they're hard to get dirty. In this case, we're kind of drying the timber as we go, so these A-frames are just now reaching their final dryness. Right now, they're like perfectly seasoned. Air-seasoned Sitka spruce timber. And it's been really easy for us this year because we had this great weather, and you can see, I mean, they just dried right out. They were about half dry when we put them up, and now they're basically there. So let's go ahead and you can watch from the inside as we put a couple boards up. So this is really, oh, there we go. Oliver's working right up there right now. How's it going, Oliver?
All right. Fasten the board down.
Yep. This one? So far these have just been going together so easy. It's really fun. And that's the thing about building the A cabin is step one, put together and stand up all these A-frames. It's really fun. The half lap joints are cool. It's just really fun. They go up really fast. And then step two is just tongue and groove the entire thing. It's that simple. After we get the tongue and groove on, we're gonna do roofing. The A cabin's very easy to roof. So we're just gonna kind of rinse and repeat on this tongue and groove. It's really repetitive. It's just same thing. Be really careful with your fasteners. Try to do a really good job. Want to make sure your butt joints are never lined up, and that will be impossible to do with the kits, but if you build one of these yourself, just follow those steps. Butt joints not lined up on the same rafters. Okay, from this side. That is like amazing how seamless that is. So once you've got one side of the A-frame sheeted up past halfway, you can take the stringers off and you can take the bracing off this side. The bracing is still on the other side, the stringers are still on the other side, and at this point we've got enough strength built in with this tongue groove that it's really pretty well stable now.
Home Depot sells those nice 4x6x12s.
Yep.
Be interesting to try and make a 12x12 one out of that.
Yeah, sometimes those
ones look really good to me whenever I see them.
are pretty damn nice. It's really easy.
Zach.
On this operation. Yeah, let's cut the rest of them. There you go. Gotta cut them on the ground or cut them up here anyway. So. Ah, look at that. Well, we're coming up on 2/3 of the way done with the tongue and groove. It's just looking great. It's really looking great. So let's go ahead and video another board or two. I just videoing us doing a couple boards, then taking a break so you can kind of get a realistic feel for it. So let's go ahead and get up there. Okay, last push. Last push to the peak here. Road, I'll be getting my speed back. All right, well, we just had a wonderful day here today. It took us just under 8 hours. I think I worked 6 and Oliver worked a little over 7 to sheet one whole side of the A cabin. So that's what the cabin's gonna look like inside, which is so cool that you get there so quickly. It's so much cooler than stud framing where, you know, after we had this thing built, it's just bare studs. We're not even halfway done with it. So this thing is so cool on the A cabin, how once it's up, it's just done. It's awesome. So if you'd like to see us do this side and the floor and finish this thing to completion, I'm gonna put a wood stove in here. I'm gonna put a couple bunks in here, things like that. Please remember to click on the like and subscribe buttons below. So we're gonna go ahead and head home for today. It's a beautiful day. I'm super pleased. I really hope you enjoyed the video and either learning something, or maybe you're thinking about hiring us or buying one of these kits. That would be great. So tomorrow morning we're gonna come out, we're gonna get this side up, and I'll be able to do a bit of a walkthrough and kind of give you a full look at that. But oh man, it's really coming together well. So after the foundation was installed, this is our second day on the project. So 1 day to put the A-frames up, 1 day to sheet this, and it'll be 1 day for us to sheet that side, and we should have the underlayment on and be dried in tomorrow. So I'm gonna keep giving you guys a time frame as we're doing this. So if you purchase the kit, you can kind of get an idea of how long it's gonna take you. Wow, look at that. That is gonna look so good. I've been so excited to build something like this where it goes up in one go and then you can go inside and it's done. Hate to complain, but stud framing is kind of getting me down. It's like you build the house and then it's like months and months and months and months and months of drywall and details. And I want to be able to build a cabin out of wood and then move on to building another cabin out of wood. So I'm stoked on this. I also think the quality of just solid timber construction is so much better than normal stud framing. So take a look at this. So here you can just see how nicely joined the frames are. That is so cool. And then you can see the sheeting going on, just ripping right for the top. Do you think we're 2 hours into this? If that, 2 hours?
Yeah.
2 hours?
11:46.
Yeah. So we're about 2 hours and we started a little slow. So I think it's gonna be like a perfect 2 hours, 4 hours, 6 hours, 8 hours. So it's like a perfect 8-hour day for 2 guys to put this on. And it'll vary, you know, like if it takes you 4 days, don't feel bad. If it takes you 4 hours, you can comment on my YouTube page and just tell us how slow we are. And I'll take it. But it's gonna vary, you know, everybody does stuff at different paces. So don't ever be like, oh man. I'm usually not rushing, so nothing that we do is in a rush, but I do have a lot of years of like putting on tongue groove and stuff, so we might be faster than some, probably slower than others. So don't let the time frame get you down. This is all in real time, so everything we're doing is real, so you can see what it takes to build this A-frame cabin. But you know, if you're doing this yourself, I mean, just take your time, one board at a time. All you got to do is just keep putting one board on at a time. Stay happy while you're doing it, just real chill, one at a time, and you just keep going until you're done. It's awesome.